This is a video to look at the grid method for multiplication. So, firstly, we're doing 26 times 103. First thing you notice is that I've put a X in the top left-hand side of the grid. Do that because then it tells you not to use that column to put anything in, and you don't have to put the X there, but it just makes sense so that you put the other numbers in the right places. Second of all, you put the numbers as you say them. For example, 103. So I've put the 100 in the first column and the 3 in the next column. How do you say 26? Well, 20 and then 6. So you separate the numbers out as you say them. Next, I've used colour to define what numbers that I'm using. Now, you won't be able to do this in terms of like when you're doing an exam, for example. However, when you're learning, I think colours are a really useful thing to use. And hopefully it will separate the steps out for you in this video for the grid method. So, first step you do is you times the first two numbers together. And what I mean by that is the 2 times the 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. You go along and then you do the 2 times 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. Then you go to the next row. So now I'm going to do 6 times 1. 6 times 1 is 6. And then the next one I'm going to do is 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. So that's the first thing. That's step 1. Is you're only timesing two numbers together at once. So what I mean by that is 2 times 1, 2 times 3, 6 times 1, and 6 times 3. They're all single numbers. So that's why the grid method makes multiplication easier, because you're only doing just single figures at a time. Okay, once you've done that, then you put your answers to the left hand side of each column, because now you're going to do the zeros. So you see the yellow 0 that's on the 20, that counts as 1 0. Then you go up to the 100, which is 2 zeros. So in total you're going to have 3 zeros, and I've color coordinated it, so if you can see, I'll just do that again. You've got the 2 zeros coming from the 100 and a 0 coming from the 20. So I'm going to put 3 zeros on the end. So you should be able to see that I've color coordinated it with the white 0 and then the yellow 0. Have a look at the next one. There's no zeros in 3, so there's not going to be any zeros there. And there's 1 0 when it comes to 20. So again, you're only going to add 1 0. Next one, there's 2 zeros, and finally no zeros on the 18. Step 3, add them together. So you've done all your multiplication now. That's everything to do with multiplication done. So the first step was multiplying the single numbers. Second step was writing all the zeros out. This is step 3, which is adding it all together. So 2000 plus 600 gives you 2600, and then 60 plus 18 gives you 78. And finally, I just need to add the 2600 and the 78 together, which gives me 2678. That's the grid method for multiplication not using a decimal.